My name is Celia Wells, and I had the lap band surgery in 2010, and amazing. Amazing, that's all I can say is amazing. This is me, and I am now 127 pounds lighter. That girl totally transformed and looks totally different, but I still am the same person. Yeah. I just am better. I was involved with my family. I would do anything for my family, as any good mother would do, but to get up and do the active things and go on the hikes or go to the park to play ball or whatever. Yeah, I'd take them to the park, but I'd be the one sitting on the hill watching, I can honestly say before the surgery, I would lay there and not want to get up. And if I did get up, it was sweatpants and a sweatshirt or something big and baggy that was going to cover it all. And now I can lay there in bed, going to sleep at night and go, what are you going to wear tomorrow? Ooh, ooh. How fun is that? It's not a miracle surgery. By far it's not. You still have to work at it. But you know what? What an amazing difference it is. I wouldn't change it for the world. Check into it. Don't wait another day. Just do it. For not just so you can look good, but for your health. So you can be around for your kids and your grandkids and, your life. Live your life and enjoy it. You deserve it.
My name is David Wilson. I had the sleeve surgery on December 10th, 2012. It's been, I'm 9 months post-op, and I'm down about 184 pounds now so far, and hoping to be in the 200s next week. That's what I'm shooting for. I got to the point where I was pretty miserable, depressed. Everyday stuff was just impossible to do. Walking and just living, it was hard to do. Finding clothes, everything. Eating out, yeah, everything was just, eating out's what got me there to begin with. But it was impossible to exercise. It was just miserable. I mean, that's really the best way to say it. My life was miserable. I'm very sedentary in my job. And luckily I don't have to walk around and stuff much. And that was a lot of the problem, is I don't walk around and stuff, and I wouldn't exercise outside of work either. So it just didn't work out well. Not a very good combination because of the weight I was having. I've had a couple of bouts of atrial fibrillation, which my doctor said was brought on by sleep apnea. I had a really bad case of sleep apnea. So that, like I said, brought on the atrial fibrillation. I've had high blood pressure. I didn't want to have a bypass for me, because I just didn't like the idea of changing the plumbing, so to speak. And that's why I was really kind of intrigued by the sleeve, because at least it keeps everything still intact, other than just obviously the reduction of the size of the stomach. And then after having talked to Dr. Sassa, he was saying that would probably be the safest surgery for me to have with my size and the health issues. I mean, I was fighting this the whole way. I mean, and I ended up, I was doing everything leading up to this for everybody else but myself. Just because I was, okay, I'm tired of these guys bugging me about this. Let's just go ahead and just get this done. Okay, see, now I went, kind of a thing. And obviously now I'm definitely paying, I'm reaping the rewards from it, because you say everything's going really well. I ride my bike and went for a big hike yesterday, and it's something I wouldn't have been able to do, even 5 months ago, even right after the surgery. I said, just don't put it off, just do it now, because I mean, I'm really concerned about his health, and that's the big thing, is if always start out, just go to the seminar. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is go to the seminar and see if it's if it interests you, and go from there. I mean, that's where you start. And that's what I did, and fighting, kicking all the way, and here I am now. Like I say, almost 9 months later, and almost 200 pounds lighter. So that worked for me.
I had lots of asthma issues. I had 3 different asthma medications I was taking the day of my surgery. The anesthesiologist came in and had to give me a breathing treatment. Told me that I would probably have to have more breathing treatments.
So when I woke up from surgery,
I was surprised, and he was surprised. I no longer had to have any breathing treatments, no longer left the hospital without any inhalers whatsoever, never used an inhaler the minute I woke up from surgery. I was like,
ever since?
and have never had any breathing issues since. And it's been a year and 4 months. I have always had a battle with my weight. I had come to the realization that that's just where I was going to be, and I had tried Weight Watchers, I had tried Nutrisystems, I had tried Jenny Craig, I had tried the tablets that you could buy at the store. I had tried everything. I would try to walk 2/10 of a mile down the road to my mother's house, and by the time I got there, I was completely out of breath. It would take me probably an hour to recuperate to be able to walk back home. Now I walk down there 3 or 4 times a day, no big deal. I'm very active. I'm back to where I was in my 20s, where I was active and I could do things. I could go places with my family and not feel like I was hindering them. The last 2 houses we purchased, I bought because I felt that I would, at some point in my life, end up in a wheelchair, and now I don't even think about that. I just go about doing my thing, and that's what I do. I think there's a lot of us girls that are probably in love with Dr. Sassy. I feel sorry for his wife, but he and the staff are very supportive. Sometimes they're more excited for me than I am. So it's always, and you're easy to get a hold of. I mean, you can call, you can email. If you need product, they're like, oh yeah, come by, send someone down. They've always been very supportive. They're very supportive with our group, gives us lots of handouts, lots of educational information. The nutritionist, she's been awesome. I mean, she tells us all these little tricks to do that we never would think of on our own. And that's what a lot of it is. You're limited on what you eat. So what you eat, you want it to be better than good. So the office has been really good about showing us all those little tricks. Just probably like everyone else. Wish I would have done it sooner.
My life after surgery changed completely. It didn't take very long for me to realize that life was worth living. It didn't take very long for me to realize that I can actually walk across the room without getting winded. I left the hospital taking no medication whatsoever, none. So after surgery, my quality of life has gone through the roof. I'm very happy with my surroundings, I'm very happy with myself, and very pleased with the outcome of the surgery. Prior to surgery, it was a daily challenge, it was a chore. Frankly, to cut to the chase, I didn't care whether I lived or died. Every day was a struggle, moving around, I would get winded, my whole body hurt. It was nothing I looked forward to. I went to bed at night, at times it didn't matter to me if I even woke up the next day. That's how miserable my days were. Packed full of a buffet line of medication that I had to take for my heart, for my high blood pressure. And it was really, it was miserable. Outside of the people in my life, life itself and the quality of life was, to me, just not really worth living anymore. My experience with Dr. Sassy was absolutely amazing. I was comfortable. We could be open and honest. He's one of the few doctors that I ever met that will just talk to you, down to earth, answer any question that you have without beating around the bush. I got all my questions answered, and he, prior to surgery, him and his staff, and the now 9 years post-surgery, have always been there for me. All I have to do is pick up the phone, and I can get any and all help that I need, answers to any questions. They are a one-stop shopping is what I call them, full service, and I do appreciate that. If I met someone who was contemplating surgery, which I do quite often, I tell them first of all, be informed. Be informed, do your research, know what you're getting into. I then ask them how happy they are with their life right now, and in most cases they're not. And then I reassure them that with this surgery, your entire life changes. Be informed, get the right people. Most of all, get Dr. Sassy, because he's the only one of all of them that I've met that truly will just talk down to earth. He'll tell you like it is. And the honesty goes a long way. I can't thank Dr. Sassy enough, and every time I run into him, I tell him that it was God directing his hands that day that allowed me to survive the surgery and that has changed the quality of my life. I tell everyone that I run into, all the support group meetings that I've headed up and that I've attended, I can never say enough to all the folks that I run into that this surgery truly is a life-saving surgery. And if you want to live and you want a better quality of life, it first starts within yourself. And if you make that commitment, then everything else will fall into place. If you don't have that commitment, then don't waste your time with the doctors, because it's not going to do anybody any good.
My name is Julie Williams, and I did Dr. Sassy's non-surgical weight loss program, the iMetabolic, and I've lost 56 pounds in less than 6 months. And I thought that, and I was overweight, so I decided to go the surgical route, and I went through everything, and my insurance denied my surgery. And we tried again, and they still denied it. So instead of giving up, I decided to do the non-surgical and went with the iMetabolic. And so far, so good. I'm very excited about my results. Well, I've been following the steps, and I think what's really worked for me was the whole idea of eating within an hour of getting up. That helps. And starting with the shake. And the shake, for me, is really good in the morning. And I like the shakes. They taste good. The bars are good. It's easy. I eat by the clock, not by when, being hungry. So that also works. And then stopping eating at 7:30 at night. That's a huge help. Also, it retrains your brain. I think that was really good because you just eat and you don't realize it takes, your brain, when your stomach is full, it takes your brain the 20 minutes. It really does. So I just changed different things. When I came home at lunch, I would have my shake, and then I would walk on my treadmill or leave the house. Go do a little bit of shopping, go do an errand, something just to change my atmosphere, my environment. And now it's a lot easier. I think that if I can do it, anyone can do it. And it's very doable, I guess. It's convenient, it's easy. I take things with me when I travel. It's affordable. I think it's a great program. And, the hours and the people that you see here it's very flexible. So I think it's very accessible. I noticed that from last summer to this summer, I can ride a bike a lot easier. I'm not as winded. We went to the water slides. We go to the water slides every year. And this year I went on 2 more water slides than I usually do. I'm kind of an observer anyways, but it's helped with me wanting to get out there and go and do things, be more active. And also my family went to the Oregon Dunes and rode quads and dirt bikes. And so I was able to get out there and ride, and it's a lot easier. Life's a lot easier.